Good afternoon. Welcome to Main Event Stables. This is lesson number 2, a walk trot lesson with my student today is Bee and her horse is Hobby. Today we're going to work on half halts per Bee's request. Bee's got several years experience, but she's very clever in knowing that there's always room for improvement even on the skills that she's already developed. Today we're going to work on half halt. Bee would like to share a little bit of her insights and knowledge about how and why we do a half halt. Bee, would you like to take it?
Sure. So half halts are usually usually used for rebalancing your horse and reorganizing your horse and making him more aware. And it's not just used for slowing your horse down.
And the aids. What aids do you use? And then how do you do a half halt?
So you gently squeeze with both your legs and you use your outside rein at the same time, just for like half a second, and just to make them do what I said earlier.
Very good. Okay, Bee, that's a pretty good description. So yes, we'll use a half halt for all of our transitions to help the horse be aware that we're preparing to make some kind of change, whether it's a change of a gait from walk to trot, trot to canter, canter to walk, walk to halt, and even in patterns and turns and circles. So Bee's going to go ahead and start walking around half the arena, and she's just going to let Hobby walk on his own, and then I'm going to ask her for a half halt, and we're going to see if we can see him rebalance. Okay? So let's see a half halt there. And in reality, you did a half halt just to bring him back to the walk. Okay, and a half halt. And could you tell he responded to your aids?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Can we do a walk halt transition to test our half halt aids? Good effort on the half halt transition and good effort fixing your horse. Good. So now we're going to go back to walk. And are you doing half halts to make your circle, make your turn?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to prepare for a transition to sitting trot. And when you're ready, you can go ahead. How would you say this trot is? All right, so show us what you're going to do to get him organized without losing the gait. And see, this is why we don't want to learn to do half halt as a down transition, because we didn't want him to do a down transition. We just wanted to reorganize the gait he was in, correct? Okay, so let him get a little strung out again and see if he'll listen to your half halt aids. What could you have done a little bit differently this time?
Use the legs a little bit more.
Using the legs more, correct. Good answer. Can we see a half halt? What did you feel there?
I felt him get...
Yes, sometimes it's hard to remember to ride and talk.
I felt him get a little bit more collected.
A little bit more balanced up underneath you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to increase the speed or the tempo of the trot so that you can go to rising trot. And we're going to allow him to get a little bit unbalanced. Try to keep your hands together. Remember, we create our turns through our inside leg and balance it with the outside rein. Good. Can you show us a half halt here? Would you say he responded to that? How could we have improved that transition?
Kept giving my legs out a little bit more.
More legs, good. Okay, let's prepare for a transition to sitting trot. And go to sitting trot. Can we rebalance that sitting trot a little bit? Would you say you could use a little more outside rein with that leg? And we'll transition to walk using half halts. Nicely done. Okay, so one of the ways we can tell that the leg can be more active is how he's closing in on our circle. No, it's not hobby, operator. There you go. So the horse is absolutely revealing to us what we need to work on, where our little weak areas are that we need to reinforce. All right, let's prepare to go back to trot, and we're going to do some walk trot transitions again to test our and refine our half halts. So when you're ready,
Sitting trot?
always start with the sitting trot, yes, and then you can go to rising trot. But to go back to the walk, what will you use? And from posting trot to walk, sitting trot. And good. So when we go to walk, we're just going to do one step of walk and then right back into trot, okay? So it's going to barely be a step into the walk. Half halts, power him up, get him back on his back legs to transition to trot. Nice transition. Good, B. You can use that leg a little more actively, the one that I can see. Yes, and then catch him on the outside rein. Let's balance him up before we transition to rising trot. Good. Let's rebalance him, also known as a half halt, so we can get to a sitting trot. And right back to trot. Okay, we're going to do another from trot, one step walk and right back to trot. This is a really good way to test your leg aids, to reinforce your leg aids. And go. And again. And go. Yep. We try not to use our clucker so much, because if we're using our clucker, then we're not actually using our physical aids, which are what he needs to be listening to. Good. Transition, one step walk and right back to trot. And that's like 4 or 5 steps. So we're going to be a little bit more picky with him about that transition, okay? The better the down transition, the more accurate the up transition. Okay, one step and go. And go. Go, go. Again, he should not come to a clear 4, 5, 6 steps of walk. It should be just barely one step of walk and right back into trot. It's very easy to say. It's not easy to execute. Yeah. All right, ready? Walking and right back to trot and go. So the thing that'll help most with that is not letting your leg come off the horse through that transition. Let's try it here. Use a little more outside rein and walk and go. That's much better. Much closer to what we're looking for. And again. And go. Yeah, see, we're not thinking clearly stop or walk. We're just thinking just kind of rock back and forth. Good. Let's use our half halt aids to change direction through our circle. Hands stay together. You're going to just circle, cut in toward me, and then turn to your right. Hands stay together. Good. Nicely done. Well executed. And one thing we remember is to change our diagonal. Keep him rolling. Okay, in this direction. Trot, walk, trot, and go. Yes, nice. That transition was near perfect. More of that, please. And again. And again. Good. And we'll transition to the walk. Now look at how much nicer your walk transition became by doing those walk-trot transitions. Yeah. Good. Be very nice demonstration and practice for this video. We're going to continue our lesson, but we're going to end it here because you've got more work to do, and we're done with our walk-trot portion of it. If you'd like to halt, Mr. Hobby. Okay. Is there, do you have any questions about what we worked on today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you understand what we were working on?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see or have a sense of what you wanted to improve on, or that you felt like you were improving on?
Yeah.
And they were what? Elaborate, please.
I feel like I improved on my sitting trot a little bit.
Oh, good.
And I feel like I need to work on keeping my heels down in the stirrups.
Okay.
And getting on the correct diagonal when I transition into posting trot.
Okay. Now, as far as your, those things are all equally important, but as far as the topic of this portion of the lesson, which was the half halts, what would you say went well, and what would you say we still need to work on?
I feel like that the half halts went pretty well, and I feel like I still need to work on timing them well.
Timing key.
Transitions.
Excellent. Excellent. Very well. Thank you, Bee, so much for your time and helping me with this video. And true to form, anytime I try to do a video, then there's dogs barking and saws going and weed eaters and drills. So you did a really nice job despite all the distractions. Thank you.